Hi, my name's Rodrigo Rendon, and this is my Tamiya 148 F-14 diorama. I posted it a couple of pics on Facebook posts, and some people wanted me to do a video on YouTube. How I made the base was an insulation foam board I bought at Home Depot. I cut that to size with an adjustable box cutter. And for the non-skid, I applied Tamiya Diorama texture paints. Really good, cool stuff. It's like this thick paste. I bought the gray color. It comes in multiple colors. And I used a hard brush, hard bristles, and I just brushed it on to simulate the non-skid on the deck. Once that dried out, I airbrushed it with Tamiya German gray. The German gray gives it a real, instead of black, it just gives it an aged look. And then for further weathering, I applied a washes, Vallejo acrylic washes. I just dumped some Vallejo on there and brushed it multiple times to give it that aged look. For the tire treads, I just used a sponge, a narrow makeup sponge, and again, Tamiya products. I'm not trying to promote them. It's just it's the product that I use the most for dioramas. I use their pastel chalk, and I just drew a curve in there to simulate the tire tread on the flight deck. Where the cables come out of the flight deck, I scratch built those. Those are the cable sheaths. I painted everything on my own. I masked it. The tie downs are from a company called Reed Oak in France. They do some 3D printing. The tie down chains and the pad eyes are all from Reed Oak. The tie downs are photo etch brass. Most of the figures are also from Reed Oak. I mean, this is probably the best quality 148 figures you can find out there. They do, like I said before, 3D printing of an actual person. Not cheap. They're pretty expensive. Just to give you an idea, with the exception of 3 figures, all the figures are from Reed Oak. The figures actually cost me more than the jet, so they're expensive but well worth it. The missile cart, that's from Skunkworks Models. You buy a kit and you get multiple ordnance dolly carts with that. Highly recommend it. That kit only costs about $15. The hose you'll see, and I'll do a little walk around with the camera here in a second, but I scratch built the air start hose. That's also Tamiya product. It's a braided wire that they sell, and I wrapped Tamiya paint around it. I painted the thinnest Tamiya masking tape you can find, and I just painted it black and wrapped it around the hose. Drilled a hole underneath the fuselage, right where the air start goes, behind the left main landing gear. The pilot climbing the boarding ladder, that's from Sabre. It's a company out of, I think, Taiwan or China. You get 2 figures with that. It's called the F-14 crew. I only used the pilot climbing the boarding ladder. The second figure has a pilot holding his helmet in his hands, and I couldn't use that because everybody needs their helmet on the deck. All the decals on the figures, I custom made those on a printer, laser decal printer paper, and I just cut it out to shape. Looks like my chalk fell from the guy holding the chalk here. I'll put that on later. The data plate on the front, I printed that on PowerPoint, and then just cut it out to shape. Cut some acrylic to size. And the crash response fire truck, that's from Verlinden. And you get 2 figures with that. I got a purple shirt right there and a silver suit. Those come with the kit, and it's a cool kit because it gives you 3 options. I believe the second option was an actual an APU electrical starter or an air start huffer, and the third one is the fire engine. I went with the fire engine because I already have a yellow tow bar. I have a yellow missile cart. I wanted to break up all the yellow, so I went with the white rescue vehicle. The tow bar is from a company called Brangoon. I bought those on eBay. Highly recommend that tow bar. It's very detailed. The electrical cable, that black one that comes behind the main landing gear, or I'm sorry, the nose gear, that's from a hose from the Verlinden fire truck. If you'll see here in a second in the back, you'll see like a hose. It's same diameter, I believe, for the electricals. So I just cut that to length and I put it back there. The yellow wire coming out of the nose gear, that's just basically sewing string. I painted that yellow. That represents the SINS cable. It's the ship's INS. I scratch built also that hatch that comes out of the deck over there. The scupper, that yellow portion back there on the edge of the deck edge elevator, I scratch built that out of evergreen plastic. And what else can I tell? That's about it, guys. Like I said, Tamiya 148, I believe Fighter Town decals. And the canopy I polished in Tamiya, they make a paste to polish your canopies. Highly recommend it. First time I ever tried that, I think it came out really nice. The yaw string on the nose for the F-14, that's also sewing thread, just transparent nylon sewing thread. And I'll do a little walk around here for you guys. Well, there you go, fellas. If you got any questions, go ahead and feel free to post something here in the video post. I'll try to answer them as much as I can. All right, thanks a lot.